Alright, you guys, this is Reborn Angels, and yeah, so, I'm bringing you a video today, a vlog of a dream that I had last night. I'm gonna name the video Dream Girl, because, in my dream, I had a dream girl, and basically what it was, it's a crazy-ass dream, so we're gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna close my door, and turn on my light. It's brighter in here. There we go. Okay. So this dream is completely in left field. I don't even know, like, how I started dreaming about this or where it even came from. But it was absolutely insane, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because it was too good to pass up. I might put this in a playlist called Wireless Dreams, and in that playlist I would love if you guys sent video responses or whatever, told me about your craziest dreams or whatever. If you don't, it's perfectly fine. I do this for fun, not for views, and I'll stress that throughout my entire lifetime on YouTube. Whatever channel I go to or whatever, my philosophy will still be the same. I do it for fun and not for views. Anyway, I start off this dream. I don't even know where I was, but I remember the dream. I don't know where I was, okay? So, I think it was on a Tuesday, and I had work at 4:30 in the afternoon. Okay, so before that, I was going to go out, I was going to hang out with friends or whatever. So, I go out to a town, I don't know where I was. So, I went to a town, and it was crazy down there, and let me just get this out of the way. I have no idea how I thought I would fit all this in before 4:30. So with that said, let's continue on. So I'm in a town, and there's busy as shit down there. There's a bunch of people. All I remember is there was like a warehouse type thing, and then there was a mod shop across the street, like for like cars and motorcycles or whatever. So for some reason, I had my car with me. Well, I had my car and my motorcycle with me, okay? This is where the dream starts to get weird. So I have my car with me, I have my motorcycle with me, and I don't know how my motorcycle got there, but it did. And I do have a little Honda, like, little shit bike in my garage. But anyway, I had that there. So I brought that across the street to the mod shop, and originally I was just trying to get out of the parking lot. So I went through a thing, and then I saw a sign that was like full body, like $850 or some shit like that to, like, I guess clean it and tune it up or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm just trying to leave. So I turn around, I back up, and I go there, and this guy stops me and goes, just bring it over to me and I'll fix it up for you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, my bike is fine. So I go, okay, whatever. So I drive it into the garage, I turn it around, and I park it, and I leave. This is also where the dream gets messed up. Okay, so after that, I walk back to, I'm with someone, somehow. I didn't come with them, I didn't meet them there, but now I'm with someone that I know. Okay, so I'm with them, and we're just walking around or whatever. And then he had his car, so he decides, hey, no, never mind. He didn't have his car, so he was just walking around. And then hours and hours go by, and then I go back to the mod shop. This is what's weird. So I brought my bike in originally, and I walk up there because the guy called me. I walk up there, and my car is there, okay? My car is there. He throws me the keys. I walk up to the car, and I notice one of the doors is black. The hood has a red decal on it, and the back door has writing. When I brought it in, it was my silver Volkswagen Jetta that I own now. So it was white with a black door, and it had red writing on the back door, and a red logo on the hood, and the hood was black. So, there's that. Then, before I get in the car, a guy goes, "Hey, remember to look for the arrow." And I got in my car, and I was like, what are you talking about? So, I get in the car, this is what I see. I get in the car, I see a gray dashboard, and my dashboard is black. Gray dashboard with the driving wheel, the steering wheel was a race wheel, and then right behind it was race gauges, and then the other side was just plain gray like it is now. But it was gray, not black. And so I was like, okay, so I start the car. And in 2016, or the way that my car is, it has an illuminated dashboard, and it looks rather nice. But when I started this car, it looked like a 1991 Corolla. Like, faded screens, real shitty neon lettering and numbers and shit. And it had two options. It said yes and no. I forget what the question was, but it said yes and no. I turned it on. I think I pressed yes. I'm not sure which one I pressed, but anyway, that screen went away. And then I pull up to the end of the driveway, and I'm going to turn left. So right when I'm turning left, the arrow pops up, the one that he was talking about, and I was like, okay. So the arrow popped up. I don't know what that means. He just said look for it, and I found it. Anyway, I started driving down that road. I'm going pretty fast because at this point in time, it's now like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go home, right? So this is also where my dream gets a little bit trippy. So I'm driving down the main road, and I'm going pretty fast. Out of nowhere, my windshield does this neon frost effect. Okay, so the frost comes from the bottom left-hand corner and the top right-hand corner. Literally covers my entire windshield, and I couldn't see shit. So I stopped, and it went away. So I was like, okay, that's a speed effect. So I was like, alright, well, there's got to be a way to turn it off. But I didn't think to turn it off at that point. So I started going faster again. And then the same thing happened, but this time, if I came from the bottom left, only stayed in the bottom left corner. And it came from the top right, covered the entire mirror, but left a little hole, or entire windshield, left a little hole in the bottom left-hand corner so I could still see. So it was literally like I was driving 65 to 70 miles an hour through a time warp. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like I was driving real fast, and then there was like an effect that was flying by my face, but it was stationary on my windshield. And so that happens, and I'm like, okay, so I get lost somewhere. I don't know where it was. So I get lost, and this goes back to the trippy part. So I get lost, and I don't know where the hell I am. So somehow I lose my car out of nowhere. So I lose my car, and I end up at my house. Don't know how I lost my car, don't know how I ended up at my house. But it's 3:30 at this point, and I have work at 4:30. So I get home, I'm flipping out because I don't know where my car is. My mom's home, and I was in the basement, and I was like, I was screaming, I was like, I gotta be to work at 4:30. I was home, had no car. I don't know, my mom was like, you're still home? I was like, yeah. She's like, why? I was like, I lost my car. And usually, if you ever lose your car, which I don't know how you could do, the parent was like, what the fuck? Like, you lost your car? My mom was not like that at all. My mom, during the dream, was just like, oh, well, it happens. I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I was like, my car's gone. And so I was like, alright, I'm just going to walk to work. Okay, so I get out my garage door, close it, open the garage, and in the driveway is my car. Now, remember I told you before, my car had a black hood, a red logo, it was all white, with a black front door and writing on the rear door. When I saw my car in my driveway, after it miraculously got there, it was the same color as my original car, so it was silver. And I didn't think anything of it because it's a dream and shit happens. So it was silver, but the inside was fully covered in snow. And it was summer when this happened. So I don't know how that happened, but... And then I was like, holy shit, my car. And it was in the driveway, by the street, like up. And I saw someone in the front seat of the car. So I was like, hey, you, get out of my car slowly. And I don't mean to sound racist here, but this colored woman got out of my car. And I ran over to her, and I gave her a hug, and I would not let go. Because I was like, oh my God, how'd you find my car? You found it. It's at my house right now. Thank you so much. Like, I don't know how to say thank you, right? So I just gave her a big ass hug, and I didn't let go. And my mom was like, you're going to be late for work. I was like, I don't care. She found my car. She brought it home. So I just kept hugging her. Alright. So then, and I started driving again. And out of nowhere, mind you, my job's like 10 minutes away, and it's the easiest way to get there. But for some reason in my dream, I pull out the driveway, I go right. Somehow I get lost on the highway. Mind you, I have no highway to go to on my way to work. So I got lost on the highway, and I'm like, okay, well, I've seen this before, so I know where to go, right? So there's a way to go left and a way to go right. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go right because I know. So I went right, and if you guys ever seen the animated movie, not animated, but like the cartoon, not really cartoon, but it's like a robot movie. It's called Robots. And if you picture their highway, how it was like a giant, like half pipe, that's exactly what the highway looked like in my dream. So that happened, and I was going, and there was a road, it was a big ass like pipe, like a half pipe that went all the way down, super pipe. And on the super pipe, there was like a little ramp that went up, like a exit ramp that went straight up in the middle. So I was like, no, I don't remember that. So I went straight. Somehow, I end up at my house again. Okay? End up at my house, and there's people there, whatever. They're having a party. I'm like, okay, so I'm having a party. Cool. So let me just get back to, like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes before that. So 10 minutes before that, I was driving on the highway, and I stopped somewhere, I don't know where, and then the dream girl appears in my dream. Okay. So the dream girl, now that I think about it, reminds me of one of my exes. But in the stages before I met her. So basically, this girl was short. She was like, I don't know, maybe 5'2", like same height as me. She had really nice boobs. She had a nice butt. She's perfect. She had blonde hair, really, really pretty. And I knew it was a dream because I had a girlfriend. I don't have one now. But she had blonde hair, beautiful, perfect, great personality. So we go to my house. I take her to my house. And because I'm aware that there's a party going on. There's a lot of people there already. And because I told people to come over. And they came. They showed up. They were on the front yard. I was like, alright, cool. So I brought her. And then we all went inside. We had a massive party. And this is again where it gets really strange. It got strange like maybe 10 times or more. So we go, her and I go into my parents' room. We go in the bathroom, and we start having sex out of nowhere. Like, we're both standing up, and she whips out 2 condoms, puts one on me, puts one on her, and then I know that's not realistic, which is why it's a dream, and then we start going at it in my dad's bathroom. Well, that happens, then we have a good time or whatever. We get dressed, we get downstairs, playing cards or whatever, and then my dream skips. Okay, my dream had a time warp, and fast forward to I don't know when, and then I was standing in my kitchen with my coworker Emily, and Emily told me, I hate to tell you this, but that girl that you're dating is talking to this guy across the country, and he's really hot. So then I was like, oh shit, like I got no chance because it's me, you know? And so I walk into the living room, and she's sitting on the couch with some other guy, and they're watching some like hockey video. They're watching like a hockey game or something. And then my coworker Emily's friend Caitlin was sitting on the seat right next to her, and then there's some random person sitting on the seat behind me. So out of nowhere, Caitlin looks at me and goes, "Come with me." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "We're gonna have sex." I was like, "Okay," because my mentality was, okay, my girlfriend is moving out to someone else. And I was accepting that really early without questioning it. So Caitlin was like, "You want to fuck?" And I was like, "Sure." So me and Caitlin go out to my dad's room. We go out to the bathroom where I had sex with my dream girl, right? So we get up there, and she basically takes off her clothes, and I don't know what she was doing, but she was wearing a one-piece bathing suit underneath it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to go into bed. So we go downstairs to the first floor of my parents' bedroom, and just as I'm about to lock the door, for some reason, their door is normal, but for some reason, on this particular day, the lock was on the outside of the door, not on the inside. So I was like, okay. So out of nowhere, right as I was about to close the door, I close it. And then I feel the handle rotate in my hand and the door open. Mind you, I'm only wearing a shirt and nothing on the bottom. Caitlin's in a one-piece bathing suit, so she's fine. And then, out of nowhere, again, I don't know, extremely left field, out of nowhere, 4 kids are at my door, at my parents' bedroom door, like, opening it. And I was like, you guys gotta go, like, I straight up was like, you guys gotta go, I'm about to have sex, or whatever, and they just wanted to go. So, they opened the door, I let them in, Caitlin just runs into the bathroom, I think, and I'm just standing there, and so, I used to teach cheerleading last year with my ex-girlfriend, so this is, again, really trippy, but out of nowhere, this girl, Chloe, that I taught cheerleading, is backing me up my parents' stairs to the slider door on their landing, and she's, like, grabbing onto my shirt, and I think that, and she was just trying to ask me a question, but I thought that she was trying to lift up my shirt because I had nothing underneath, and I was like, Chloe, you gotta stop, and then Chloe just goes, I was just gonna ask you, where's my mom? And her mom was standing near my mom's TV on the bottom. It was weird because it was like my parents' room turned into like a living room. So like she's backing me up the stairs And I was like, you gotta stop. And she was like, well, where's my mom? I look over the railing in my mom's room, and I see like a giant like a living room, dining room type thing, hardwood floor and all that. And I was like, oh, Chloe, your mom's down there. And then Chloe was like, oh, okay, and she left. So then, and then what happened was, and me and Caitlin again, we met up in my mom's bedroom because I was still there somehow, and we were about to have sex or whatever. We were both naked, we were kissing or whatever, and then I was like, no, I can't do this. And she was like, why? I was like, because I have a girlfriend, and I'm in love with her. And then Caitlin was just like, whatever. So I go downstairs. She's still sitting with that kid on the couch, so I say, hey babe, like, can I talk to you real quick? And then she was like, yeah, sure. And then she just looked over to the kid that she was sitting next to, and she's like, I'll be right back. And he was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And he was still watching his game or whatever. So I pulled her aside, and I was like, look, I hear there's a rumor that you like someone across the country and he's really cute. So what does that make us? And she was like, what do you mean, what does that make us? And I was like, what does that make us? And she was like, well, I don't know, because I love you and, like, he's just some random guy. And I was like, okay, like, I'm down with that. Like, I'm cool. Like, I love you too, babe. Like, thank you for, like, straightening this out for me. And then she goes off, sits next to that kid, starts watching a video again. And then I'm sitting on the floor. We're just playing cards. And then that's pretty much where the dream ends, I think. I don't really fully remember it. That's all I remember, and it was crazy as shit. But definitely I'll be making a series if I ever have any more obscene dreams that just stick out in my mind. Again, this playlist will probably not have a lot of videos on it, because I don't know how often I'll have dreams like that again. But yeah, so I met the dream girl. Dream girl was 5'2", blonde hair, beautiful, beautiful girl, very pretty. Reminds me of one of my exes, actually, when she was blonde before I met her. Yeah, and I don't want to say her name because her and I don't talk anymore, and that'd be really awkward if she knew. I had a dream of my dream girl that resembled her. And yeah, so that's my dream. It was really fucked up, and I woke up, I went downstairs, and I was like, I'm sad. My mom goes, why? I was like, I just had the weirdest but best dream ever. And my mom was like, oh yeah? I was like, yeah, I found the dream girl, and now she's gone. And my mom was like, oh, that's so sad. And I was like, yeah. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this dream vlog. I will be streaming later on today, maybe, if I get the chance to. And this is Reborn Angels, and